All right, it's time for week 3 of the time slots for the TV schedules. You want to end on a good note. Make sure you guys are fully squared away with all of our fun openers, season starters, mid-season reviews, and maybe a little sprinkle in between.
You are Locked On ACC, your daily podcast on the Atlantic Coast Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's going on, everybody? Part 3 of our ACC season opener here. We are talking through a good time and, more importantly, an important time for the ACC as we look to kick things off in the right way as a conference. This is Kenton Gibbs. I am Candace Cooper, and you can find us each and every day wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you download and subscribe to that bad boy. Kenton, how are you feeling on this final list?
I'm feeling good. These week 3 matchups we're getting into some nitty gritty now and it's going to be very interesting to see how a lot of these games shake out.
Let's go to September 14th, where Bethune-Cookman will be at Miami at 7:30 on ACC Network. A gimme for Miami. Hopefully it's a mental booster. Let me just not go to sleep at the wheel after this Texas A&M game, and we keep things rolling.
Shout out to Georgia Tech for playing South Carolina State and Miami for playing Bethune-Cookman. You know, these money games are important to HBCUs and smaller schools. With that being said, don't have a moment where we get another. And one more thing, tell them, bring me my money. You do not want to see that meme come out. You do not want to see that meme come out. For those of you who don't know, that was North Carolina A&T's legendary coach doing that after they beat Duke. Was it? Who did they beat?
And don't do that to Duke. It was not Duke, but Sam Washington.
Sam Washington.
Yeah,
Sam Washington is the coach. Yes, but who was the team they beat? Who's the team?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I can't remember.
You over here cracking the joke and don't know the full and trying to get the explanation. You could have just cracked the joke and kept it rolling.
All right. Well, anyway, you don't want to see it. And one more thing, tell them, bring me my money. You don't want to see that. You do not want to see that on your team here.
My mom said that the other day, and I was like, where do you even get these things from? All right. Virginia will be at Maryland. Hey, old friend, on September 15th. September 15th at 7 p.m.
Whew. This is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough one for Virginia.
Tough one for who? Oh, okay.
It's going to be a tough one for Virginia. But again, if Elliott, I'm telling you, if y'all are going to shock the world, y'all have multiple chances to show people early that y'all have the capability to do that. This will be a game where you have the ability to show that.
Elliott versus Lockley feels like very criminal to me. You know, black on black crime. Hate it had to be one of them, but here we are. Also, Maryland is, if you are a part of the alignment crew, you've been following us all along, part of our alignment conversations, let them be a tale of maybe the grass ain't necessarily greener.
Absolutely. Also, you're going to get us canceled, please.
How am I going to get us canceled? I've been called everything but try to go on the show. I really do not care. If you were going to cancel me, let me earn my cancellation, okay? Because I will sound off.
This game, again, is going to be important for both teams in their next season's goal. Can they pull off a upset against Maryland? That is going to be important to, again, showing Elliott saying, hey, everybody's wrong about me. I'm good at my job. This will be a moment to show it.
Come on, politically correct, Peter. All right, on September 16th, Saturday slate, Wake Forest will be at ODU. They'll start at 12 p.m. Another 12 p.m. game, Florida State at Boston College, a familiar Atlantic foe. Louisville will be versus Indiana at Indianapolis on the Big Ten Network. Must be nice over there. Make a lot of money, I heard.
First of all, it's PC Pete to you. Second of all, these teams, this is a very interesting slate of games for a multitude of reasons. These games are not, all of the games in this slate have different reasons why they're interesting. You look at all these games independently and you say to yourself, Louisville at Indiana, that is definitely going to be a measuring stick game. You look at this Florida State and Boston College game and you say, Florida State, you need to dominate that game. But you're also saying to yourself, Hafley, if you want to save your job, y'all have to be somewhat competitive in this game. You have to keep this game somewhat close. You cannot have them running you out of the stadium after you've already had a game this season where people are saying, or 2 pushover games this season, where if one of those is close and then you get ran out of stadium here. No, you need to have 2 blowouts and at least keep this one, like, oh, we put up the good fight and then they just kind of opened it up in the fourth quarter. If they dominate you from start to finish this game, yeesh. You want to talk about our call for a coach job a lot? Young Jeffrey, you're going to get that knock on the door. Hey, coach, bring your playbook. Bring your playbook. Come on down. Come on down to the AD's office.
Well, you said Wake Forest is going to have an up and down year. Playing ODU, the expectations I would feel like going to ODU are certainly high in terms of a must-win game.
Absolutely. ODU was not a good team last year. Do not let the Virginia Tech upset fool you. This is not a good ODU team. Wake Forest should come in and whoop the wheels off them boys. Now, if that does not happen, then people are going to be looking at Wake Forest a little funny in the light. And by whoop the wheels off of, I don't mean that all these games have to be 28-point games, by the way. If you win a game by 14-20, but you absolutely dominate the pace, you absolutely, like, you control the game and they never really get all that close, then that's fine too. But they need to have a performance like that against an ODU team that, I mean, again, outside of that win against Virginia Tech last year, they showed very, very little. So I don't know why people would expect a ton out of them this year.
Let's get into our 3:30 matchups. Minnesota at North Carolina as 3:30 on ESPN or ESPN2. Northwestern at Duke at 3:30 and Virginia Tech at Rutgers on Big Ten Network. Big Ten Network kind of gets some of my money. I don't know if I like that. No.
Listen, this is a own little Big Ten ACC challenge right here. There's a little bit of, Louisville going up to Indianapolis. You got Northwestern coming on down to Durham. You got Virginia Tech going up to New Jersey. You got, I'm just saying.
Minnesota, North Carolina.
Minnesota going on in the Chapel Hill. You got some Big Ten ACC challenge vibes going on.
Minnesota's in the Big Ten, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You got.
I've never seen them in the Big Ten ACC challenge when we play basketball. Are they not good enough?
Yeah, they're not good enough. You have to be a certain rank in your conference. If you're one of the bottom 2 or 3 teams, you don't get invited. But with that being said, these games, the ACC has to show up and show out. I don't think that it's any one of these games outside of, I would say Louisville, Indiana is the only one that, like, if we lose that one, it's kind of like, like Duke and Northwestern. I don't think that Duke can lose that game. I think that they would have to try really hard. As much as people like Pat Fitzgerald, he's a fixture there. They're probably going to name the field after him when he retires in 20 years or whatever. That team is god-awful, terrible. The pits.
Oh, my gosh.
Am I lying? Northwestern went either 1-11 or 3-9 last year. Like, that is a team that is horrendous.
They helped Duke get that six plus wins.
Yeah, they did. They helped everybody get closer to 6. Anybody who played Northwestern last year got a little closer to 6 because they saw those Wildcats walk through the door. So, Duke, you need to get closer to 6 when you see those Wildcats walking through the door this year.
Virginia Tech at Rutgers, though.
Virginia Tech at Rutgers is a game of 2 bottom feeders. But here's the thing.
You love a bottom feeder, child. Go ahead.
Nobody believes that Rutgers is going to be better. Nobody believes that Rutgers is going to be better.
Well, does anybody believe that Virginia Tech going to be better?
Some people believe in pride. I'm hearing whispers of people saying, hey, this Virginia Tech team, they're going to be the ones. They're going to be the ones that shock the world. They're going to be the ones. They got these pieces. They got these weapons. They're going to be the ones. Okay. All right. Pride, show us something. Show us something. This is one that if you lose it, people are going to be looking at you funny because, again, this is not a good Rutgers team. This is not a Rutgers team. Greg Schiano is another one of those guys that he's going to be a fixture up there at Rutgers. He knows where his bread is buttered. He knows that last time he stepped foot out of Rutgers, he got ran right back up there. So he's not leaving. He's going to be in there forever. But guess what? Don't matter. You need to go up there, or you need to handle business when they come see you.
All right, let's talk about our 7:30 games here in just a second. I want to remind you guys about our FanDuel action right now. If you go to FanDuel.com/lockedon, you get a no sweat burst bet up to $2,500. Again, that's FanDuel.com/lockedon. It's no better time to bet. You can get into the college preseason action, get into the NBA action, MLB action, all of the things that help you win some moolah. You get $2,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. Go to www.fanduel.com/lockedon FanDuel.com/locked-on for a no sweat first bet. Talking to Kenton Gibbs here. We're going through week 3. Talking about our Saturday slate. 7:30 games moving on to here. Georgia Tech at Mississippi on the SEC network.
Ole Miss gonna scold them boys, and more power to you, Key. This is not a good situation to be in.
But maybe you playing well. Maybe you play up a little bit.
But and here's the thing about being in that situation where everybody knows you're gonna get the wheels whipped off you. You have nothing to lose. You have.
But don't embarrass us on the SEC network. You better act like you know.
Act like they know what? You need to know good players. You need to know good players.
That's why you raggedy. You're supposed to be elevating the game over here on this side. You're supposed to be rallying around all the troops.
Can I tell you something? I tell you something?
I don't want to hear it.
When I was younger, me and my sister would bring home our grades, and we would either have identical grades or maybe even in some cases, mine would be a little better than hers. And my mom would say, "Good job, Kyler." And she'd look at me and she'd say, "What is this?" And I would get mad and be like, "Why? Why she gets to get off with not having the grade, but I have better grades and you're mad at me?" And she say, "I want better from you because you are capable of more. You are capable of more." And this is not to say that my sister Nitty, she's the first person in our family to get a master's degree, actually. But the point that I'm saying here is the expectations are what set how you feel about the result. If you are expecting these teams, if we got up here and said, Georgia Tech is going to beat Ole Miss by 20, and then they go out there and get scolded, now we done just let some folks down. We done just set some people up to be real mad. But if we tell them, Georgia Tech, this is probably going to be a game that's real tough for y'all. This is probably going to be a game where at halftime, Coach Key going to have to tell y'all, don't worry about the scoreboard, guys. Play for pride. Play for that GT on your helmet. Play for the name on the back, but more importantly, the name on the front. Play for each other. Don't worry about the score. Just go win one drive at a time. That
sounds like a core. That sounds like a core memory for you. Okay, you're having a flashback. Pitt at West Virginia.
The backyard brawl is one of my favorite rivalries. It's one of my favorite rivalries because it does not get the respect that it deserves nationally. It really doesn't. These two teams really don't like each other.
Why do you say don't get the respect they deserve? It's going to be on ABC now.
Well, I say that not from a standpoint of like viewership or anything like that. I mean, if you were to like tell people, hey, name the top 10 rivalries in college sports, this would probably not be mentioned as one of them.
Well, that's because they haven't been relevant in a while.
But it's still so good.
I don't think people realize how close Pittsburgh and West Virginia are either.
Yeah, that's true. But
because West Virginia is kind of like just, it's just there.
What an interesting state West Virginia is. I'm super glad. I'm super glad that we won't have a bunch of Mountaineers fans in our comments telling us, "Oh, you're terrible. Come on down the mountain."
Country road, take us home. Ain't that the one?
No, I'm from the city. I'm a city boy. I don't like nothing about it. I don't need nothing about the country. I don't need nothing about that.
City boys up, huh?
City Road, take me home, okay? 540, take me home. The Lodge, take me home. Southfield Freeway, take me home. I don't need nothing about no country roads, take me home. But now, when I look at this game, it's always most of the time when people say throw out the record books, they're joking. But seriously, when you think about the backyard brawl, really, throw it out. It doesn't matter who you think is good, who you think is bad. This game will always end up being close, and it's always going to end up being competitive. I am super geeked up to see it.
We can see Syracuse at Purdue.
Bring
it on back. Let's run it back.
I don't know what it is about these teams with gold helmets trying to run through the ACC like some Tomb Raiders. I don't know, but y'all names is not Laura Croft. Y'all better knock it off now. We done had enough. But Purdue is a team that somehow ended up in the Big Ten championship last year, which is, again, the greatest case of all time to abolish divisions across college football. Stop the nonsense. With that being said, this is a Syracuse team that I think this is going to be a tough season for them. I think that this is a game in which I think that Purdue does enough to not fumble this one away like they did the last one because they really had to give it away. I mean, and I'm talking taunting. I'm talking stupid personal fouls. I'm talking their quarterback saying, "Oh, well, 3 defenders down there? Yeah, we're good to go." That type of deal. So I think that they don't do that twice in a row.
Florida Atlantic will be at Clemson at 8 p.m. on ACC Network. I'm ready for Clemson to play somebody because this is getting old a little bit.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Clemson about 15. This is what, week 3? Yeah, the young guys going to play again. Young guys going to get their time. They're going to get their time to go out there and do what they do and, have some fun. You know what, though? I believe a familiar face from the ACC is going to be coming back in that game.
Who was that?
Oh, Willie Taggart. I believe
he has a job. I think he got fired.
Oh, he got fired already? Yikes.
I don't know, but I don't think he is not even an ACC staple. That's
no, I didn't say it was a staple. I just said a familiar face. He was a familiar face.
He really wasn't. You couldn't pick Willie out of a lineup.
I could pick Willie out of a lineup.
No, you cannot.
I know what Willie Taggart looks like. What are you talking about?
Describe him.
He looks like a nerd. Like, he looks like he shouldn't be coaching football, but he does. He has like those really thick glasses, and he's very he looks like a wide receiver a little bit, like a retired wide receiver. He's like not very big. But yeah, it's hard for me to describe, but I know what Willie Taggart looks like. I could definitely pick him out of the lineup.
Lord help the children. All right, I'll let you have it. Either way it goes, that's week 3. That's all we got for you guys. But I think it's really important to say, as we round out these conversations, there's a lot of good football for the ACC potentially. There's a lot of necessary wins for the ACC. There are some where we're just going to get punched in the mouth a little bit, and that's okay. We can rally the troops. We can rally the troops.
Absolutely. But let me ask you this, Candace, and I'm going to throw a curveball at you because you know me. I like getting off script, and so we're going to get off script right now.
What's new?
We're going to get off script right now. Of the rest of the ACC night games for the rest of the season, which one or two are you most excited about seeing?
Of the night games for the rest of the season?
Yeah, we got Friday night, NC State, Virginia. We got Friday night, Louisville, NC State, Syracuse, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, Duke Thursday, Boston College, Syracuse, Notre Dame. Oh, no, that's Saturday. Virginia, Louisville Thursday, Boston College, Pitt Thursday, Miami, Boston College. Which game are you most excited to see out of all those night games coming up in the later parts of the season?
I definitely would say Louisville at NC State for sure. I think that's probably one that's going to be exciting. I think Notre Dame and Clemson is always going to give you some razzle dazzle. I think Wake Forest at Duke certainly will give you the razzle dazzle in the sense that it's the battle of the nerds and all of that fun stuff. But everyone else is sort of like meh, depending on where they are in their season.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. That's a very interesting take on that.
Did you just want me to give you a little bit of love to NC State, or
I just wanted to know which night games you were looking at going forward. That's all I wanted to know. It didn't matter where you was going to go with it.
Whoop, there it is. All I know is the road to December 2nd is going to be very exciting for all of these teams. As we all know, there's no more divisions. Maybe we will see that across the board here for many of our Power 5 conferences. If, we like to dibble dabble in the realm of our friends at different conferences, the SEC is certainly having a time with themselves. And as much as I talk to you and I reemphasize all the time, y'all, the grass isn't necessarily always greener. We could have the coaches that just cry and grumble all the time and talk about what they should and shouldn't have and be the best and yada, yada, yada. I appreciate what we have here. We have some solid coaches, solid programs, and I think we're going to have a really good season.
Absolutely. I think that this is going to be an excellent season for the ACC because, again, we're looking at a situation where one of 2 to 3 things is probably going to happen. Either we're going to see an ACC team back in the playoff, or we're going to see an extremely competitive situation in terms of Florida State being competitive. Not Wake Forest. Florida State, Clemson being competitive. And there's probably going to be a 3rd or 4th team in there that's real competitive as well. So, it's going to be very interesting to see. Also, very quick note, Candace, you are right. Willie Taggart did get fired already. He is now coaching with the Baltimore Ravens after a 5-7 season. After a 5-7 season, he got fired at FAU, so he is no longer the head coach there. He's now with the Ravens.
I'd be a little bit smart, and he don't look like what you said. So there,
he definitely does. Again. So Willie Taggart doesn't look like a nerd to you at all. So it's that is you want to talk about getting canceled? What does that mean?
Describe a nerd.
Nerd isn't a bad thing. Somebody that is
there is somebody offended right now for calling him nerd. There is somebody.
I would think that that's a good thing.
Me saying black on black crime is offensive, but you can say nerd.
With the allegations that have been levied against Willie Taggart, calling him a nerd is a positive. That is objectively a positive.
Baby, I don't know his testimony, but that's all I'm here to tell you.
Listen, I don't know his testimony either, but I know what these folks in these Twitter streets, what these YouTube comments say about Mr. Taggart. Somebody calling him a nerd, he should He probably gonna call me tomorrow, brother. I thank you. I appreciate it. If I see a Baltimore area code pop up on my phone, I'm gonna know exactly who it is. I'm gonna know it's Mr. Taggart calling me to say, thank you for calling me a nerd, man. You know, they calling me everything but a good Christian, saying I don't know how to do logistics, and I had boys standing around on campus.
And you know what? We are not, and that's what we not gonna do. And that's what I'm saying.
And that's what I'm saying.
Not on this show.
And that's what I'm okay, Ms. Vanzine. All I'm saying is
not on my watch.
All I'm saying is saying that he looks like a nerd. I think,
and that's fine.
I think that he would.
Y'all make sure you follow all of our episodes. Catch up. Make sure you have your pencil sharpened to give us all of your feedback. Leave us some YouTube comments. Make sure that you download, subscribe to the podcast on the audio spaces. Leave us 5-star reviews and all of the fun things that you love to do. For Candace Cooper and Kenton Gibbs, we'll be back for more. And remember, June, we are in the off season, 3 episodes a week. We don't want you guys to get discouraged. We want you to make sure you guys catch up to all that we have. So you have plenty of opportunities to get downloaded. So we look forward to seeing you soon. Candace Cooper, Kenton Gibbs. Until next time.